80 minutes. That's all they got. 80 minutes for one of the most special pairings women's tennis has seen in a long time, and just like that, it was gone. Alicia Parks and Venus Williams. Done. Knocked out in the quarterfinals of Bad Homburg. And before you scroll past thinking it's just another doubles result, stop. Because what ended on that grass court was something much bigger than a scoreline. Stick with me till the end, because this one's going to hit different. Let's talk about what actually happened first. Parks and Williams lost 6-3, 6-2 to the second seeds, Slovakia's Teresa Mihalikova and Great Britain's Olivia Nichols, two seasoned doubles specialists who needed exactly 1 hour and 20 minutes to close the door on what felt like a dream pairing. But here's the thing. It didn't look like a disaster from the start. Parks and Williams actually came out swinging. They held serve, built early rhythm, and led 3-2 in the first set. The crowd was into it. There was energy there. And then, just like that, the floor disappeared. Mihalikova and Nichols went on a 6-game run. 6 straight. First set gone. 2-0 up in the second before Parks and Williams could even blink. From leading to swept in what felt like minutes. Now here's what nobody's really saying out loud. This wasn't Parks and Williams playing poorly. This was doubles tennis being brutally honest. Chemistry always beats star power. Every single time. Think about who is on the other side of that net. Mihalikova and Nichols aren't some last-minute pairing. They've played 9 consecutive tournaments together. 9. Just weeks before Bad Homburg, they lifted the doubles trophy at Queen's Club. That's a partnership built on hundreds of reps, real match pressure, and the kind of trust you only develop over time. Parks and Williams have been teammates for roughly 24 hours. You simply cannot buy that kind of connection overnight. Not even with a 7-time Grand Slam champion in your corner. And the numbers. Painful. Parks and Williams created 4 break-point chances in that opening set. 4 real opportunities to swing the momentum. They converted 1. Meanwhile, Mihalikova and Nichols had 3 chances, and took all 3. Every time the door cracked open for the dream team, they couldn't walk through it. Every time their opponents got a sniff, they kicked it down. There is the whole match summarized in 2 numbers. But to really feel the weight of this loss, you have to understand who Alicia Parks, also known as Eala, actually is right now. Because this is not some player just happy to be here. This girl is on fire. Earlier in June, she won a WTA 125 title in Birmingham. Then she reached the semi-finals of the Berlin Open, her first ever WTA 500 semi-final. Along the way, she knocked off top 10 players including Elina Svitolina. She walked into Bad Homburg with a 9-2 record on grass this season. 9 wins, 2 losses, on grass, at 21 years old. And here's the part that makes your jaw drop. Because of this run, Eala is heading into Wimbledon as the number 29 seed. Let that land for a second. She will be the first Filipino player in history to be seeded at a Grand Slam. The first ever. A whole country that has been waiting for a tennis star at this level is about to see one of their own walk into Wimbledon with a first-round bye and their name on the seedings board. When she was asked about it, she said, and this is her own words, that being seated at Wimbledon touches close to home. Close to home for her. Close to home for an entire nation. Now flip to the other side of this story. Because the person she chose to share that court with, that's where everything gets emotional. Venus Williams, 46 years old. Former world number 1 in both singles and doubles. 5-time Wimbledon singles champion. 49 singles titles. 22 doubles titles, 14 of them at Grand Slams. We are talking about a woman who has won more Grand Slam doubles trophies than Eala has years on this planet. A woman who was dominating this sport before Eala ever picked up a racket. And when Eala was asked what it meant to team up with her, she didn't give a polished, safe media answer. She said Venus is a trailblazer. That women's tennis has been a trailblazer for women's sports, and Venus is a massive reason why. Read that back slowly. That is not just a player talking about a teammate. That is a young woman talking about her hero. About the person who helped build the world she gets to compete in. About the reason a girl from the Philippines can even dream of being seated at Wimbledon in the first place. Can you imagine being 21 years old, standing next to the very woman who opened the door for you, calling her your partner on a grass court. That's the emotion nobody's writing about. You didn't need a teary post-match press conference to feel it. It was right there in the matchup itself. Think about the pressure that puts on a 21-year-old too. You're trying to hold your end of a doubles court while standing next to a legend who has a trophy cabinet older than you are. The nerves. The honor. The responsibility. Most players don't experience that in an entire career. Eala got it in a single week. And the cruelty of it all. This was always going to be temporary. A one-tournament partnership. A tune-up before Wimbledon. They knew it going in. But what makes it sting even more is that we got a glimpse, just one, of what could have been. In the round of 16, this pairing looked electric. They jumped to a 4-0 lead right out of the gate, combinations clicking almost instantly. Closed it out to 6-4, with Venus serving out the match like the champion she is. For one night, the dream team actually worked. And then, barely 24 hours later, it was over. They showed you the magic, made you believe, and then took it away. And even the opponents who beat them felt it. Teresa Mihalikova, after the win, didn't gloat. She didn't celebrate like she just defeated a random pair. She said playing against Venus, or Serena, is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. That it gets in your head no matter what. She called both of them incredible players and said it was a tough match to play in. That's respect from the woman who just beat them. That tells you everything about what this pairing represented to everyone inside those lines. But zoom out. Because what we really watched in Bad Homburg was bigger than one quarterfinal. This was a torch being passed in plain sight. On one side, a 21-year-old on the verge of making history for her country, inspired by the woman next to her. On the other side, a legend winding down one of the greatest careers the sport has ever seen, but doing it with grace, with presence, and with purpose. And Venus, she's heading straight from this loss to Wimbledon, where she'll reunite with her sister Serena in doubles for the first time since 2016. Serena Williams stepped away from professional tennis for 4 years. 4 years. And now she's coming back on a wild card to stand next to her big sister one more time, on the most sacred lawn in the sport. Two sisters, 6-time Wimbledon doubles champions together. 2012 Olympic gold medalists, reuniting at the place where they became immortal, for what could be the final great chapter of the most iconic sibling story tennis has ever told. That is where Venus goes from here. Straight into that. In 20 years, nobody is pulling up the stats from that quarterfinal. Nobody is searching Bad Homburg 2025 doubles results. The scoreline disappears. The bracket disappears. What actually stays is the image. A 21-year-old and a living legend, side by side on the grass, in the same corner, chasing the same dream. That image doesn't fade. Think about what Eala gets to carry with her for the rest of her career. Not the loss. Not the 6-3, 6-2. She gets to say, for the rest of her life, that she stood on a court with Venus Williams and called her a partner. That she served alongside a 5-time Wimbledon champion. That she looked across the net with one of the greatest doubles players this sport has ever produced standing right next to her. Most players spend an entire career and never get a moment like that. Eala got it at 21. And Venus, she gave that to her. A woman who has won everything there is to win in this sport, who had absolutely nothing left to prove to anyone, still showed up. Still laced up her shoes. Still walked onto a grass court in Germany for a doubles tournament she didn't need to play. Why? Because that's what legends do when they love the game. They keep giving it back. They keep showing up for the next generation, even when the cameras aren't expecting it, even when the headlines move on. Venus Williams showed up for Eala without making it about herself. And that, quietly, might be the most Venus thing she's ever done. And here's the part that hits hardest when you really sit with it. Eala is about to walk into Wimbledon as a seeded player, the first Filipino ever to do it, carrying everything this week just gave her. The confidence, the experience, the memory of what it felt like to share a court with greatness and hold her own. That doesn't leave you. That kind of moment lives in your muscles, in your mentality, in the way you carry yourself when the big points come. Whatever happens at Wimbledon, Eala walks in changed. And Venus is part of that. So yes, on paper, it was a quarterfinal exit. 2 sets. 80 minutes. Done. But what actually happened in Bad Homburg this week was something tennis doesn't give us very often. A moment where the past and the future shook hands on a grass court. Where a legend poured something into a young player that no coaching session, no training block, no practice match could ever replicate. Where a girl from the Philippines, who grew up watching Venus Williams redefine what was possible for women in this sport, got to stand next to her and say, "I belong here too." A loss on the scoreboard. But everything else. That was a win. A quiet, beautiful, easy-to-miss win, for the game, for the moment, and for every young player watching who needed to see that the door is still open. So here's what I want from you right now, because this is a real conversation worth having. Do you think this was a perfect one-tournament story? Something meant to be exactly what it was, brief, beautiful, and done? Or do you think we deserved more? More matches, more tournaments, more moments of these two sharing a court together. Drop your take in the comments. I want to read every single one. And if this video made you feel something, if it reminded you why you fell in love with tennis in the first place, do one thing. Share it. Send it to someone who watches the sport, someone who doesn't, someone who needs to understand why these moments matter. Because highlights fade, trophies collect dust. But stories like this one, they stick around. These are the ones worth telling. See you in the next one.